Welcome back to Moon Arrow Tarot Tribe. Today I am so excited to share with you guys a double deck review of this Wandering Moon Tarot deck. I picked this up off of Etsy a little while ago. It surprisingly got here pretty fast. It was shipped from China, but the seller's Etsy shop I purchased from directly. And I did check the other day. She does still have these decks listed. There's a caveat to that. But she will be phasing them out. She will not be printing these decks anymore because she realized that some bootleg versions are now floating around. So she doesn't want to support that. She will not be printing these anymore once she has final stock listed, and she will be giving a notice, I guess, to people who are on her mailing list, email list, things like that, and posting updates, I believe she said, on Instagram. So if you are interested in getting a hold of these decks from the original creator, I will post a link to her Etsy shop below. I believe it's Moonhouse Studios, like I said, on Etsy. However, I received, she had seconds listings, which were like a dent and scratch version of the boxes. The deck themselves were in pristine condition, perfect, but the boxes had some flaws, which I don't mind. So I was able to pick them up at a nice little discount. But yeah, these will not continue to be made. I will post the link for you guys if you want to get one or both, maybe after seeing the review, and go from there. So I will start from a kind of top down. We'll go into the packaging, we'll go into the things that are coming with it, and then we'll go into card integrity, and then take a look at the flip through itself. If you guys are just interested in the flip through, you want to get to that, go ahead and zoom to the end of the video. I don't mind. I do that all the time. So let's get into it. These decks are pretty much mirror images of themselves. I believe there are some little quirks here and there that are different, and I will try to point those out as I come to them. I am not an expert on this deck. I have not used this deck yet, so I may miss some things. The first thing that I'm noticing here, aside from the color, is the title, the name of the deck on the top. On the black box, white deck edition. So this is the original first deck, but I believe this is the fourth printing or the fourth edition of it. The name has an embossed, raised texture to it. The white box does not include that, so that feels kind of nice. Both decks have the rose petal soft touch velvet lamination on them, which is a dream to touch. I could feel this all day. I love it when creators somehow include that in their decks, and it's included in the box here. On the front, we have moons kind of going along with that theme of the deck overall, and then these dotted stars, and there are some silver holographic stars in there. And I think this is the sneak peek of the overarching theme of the deck. On the right side of the box lid, we have the title of the deck, some of those stars. On the left side, we've got two moons, more stars, and the artist name, Rachel Jean. On the top of the box, we've got the name of the deck again. And then on the bottom of the box, we've got three moons, more of the stars. And on the backs, which is actually the bottom of the base, we've got just some trickling stars out there. And this is one of those decks that comes in a very nice thick cardboard top lid, bottom base box. It is reminiscent of the Apple product boxes that you would receive an item in. Very strong, thick, and sturdy. I love these boxes. They're probably one of my most favorite ways of packaging a tarot deck. So let's pull the lid off and see what we've got inside here. The white one is a little bit tighter to pull off. And so on the inside, we have got a continuation of not only that soft rose petal finish, but the paper and the imagery as well, which is really cool. I always appreciate that. It, again, just speaks more deeply to that overall quality of the deck. And then the first thing that we see here are the little white books, or more appropriately, little white book and little black book to go along with that duochromatic theme. And we see more of the holographic stars on the front of the books. These are really thick little white books. So very nice, nice binding there. And on the spines, we have the name of the deck again. And then on the backs of the books, that same theme throughout. And I think these books include, so they've got a table of contents there. We've got about Wandering Moon Tarot, using this deck and guidebook, how to use this deck and guidebook. I'm not sure if that's kind of like a double using the deck. And then it looks like that may have, oh, okay, there we go. How to use this deck and guidebook. And then it looked like there was, they talk about tarot spreads and then they include some sample spreads in there. So that's kind of nice. And then it gets right into the major arcana. There was a little, so there's the title page and there's a little, kind of a background page about the Wandering Moon Tarot. Welcome to the 4th edition. The love received for the first editions of the Wandering Moon Tarot has been nothing but amazing. The journey since releasing the deck has brought me so much joy and meaning, and I am beyond humbled that I can continue on this path. This deck grew from a love of drawing and a love of tarot. I was wanting a deck with a more modern design, with meaning but minimalism, with less color and clutter. This deck uses the symbols of the traditional RWS tarot in a slightly different way, with a hint of astrology and an extra helping of cosmic love and lunar healing. The deck began with the Death card. The healing energy of tarot and art was something I didn't realize I needed. Once I began sketching, I couldn't stop. I wanted this deck to feel more emotional, more intuitive. The black and white aesthetic helps to cut through all the noise and get to the heart and meaning of the card. Very cool. And so I think these two books are identical except for that little background page. And so in the white version, it reads, about the Wandering Moon Tarot, welcome to the Midnight Sky edition of the Wandering Moon Tarot. This deck grew from a love of drawing and a love of tarot. I was wanting a deck with a more modern design, with meaning but minimalism, with less color and clutter. So this is going into then that same blurb as the original. She just mentions that this is the Midnight Sky edition because it is the black deck instead of white. But other than that, everything else is the same in this book, it seems. We have got those same inclusions of sample tarot spreads. And just to get a sneak peek here, here's ironically and aptly the moon card entry. And so each card has 2 pages. The moon itself, so I'll read this to you guys. The moon, come walk between my pillars. My secret and mysterious ways have fascinated all for millennia. Just as I guide the ebb and flow of the tides, so too do I guide the ebb and flow of your emotions. There's an upright and reversed entry here of quick words, keywords, and then she includes an additional page for each card called their artwork page. So she touches upon her drawing of the card itself. A moon hangs in the sky, showing both its shadow side and illuminated side. The lunar energy is palpable, able to be felt by all. The moon is seen best in the black of the night sky. What parts of yourself are illuminated in the darkness? By seeing both dualistic aspects at once, we can begin to understand the illusion, magic, and mystery of this card. So that's pretty cool. While there are no pictorial, visual imagery in this guidebook for each card, she just kind of has her own unique little inclusion there to touch upon her individual artwork of the cards for each one. So pretty neat. I do appreciate that there are reversed meanings included. A lot of decks do not include that. So these are the cool little guidebooks for you guys if you decide on this deck. And I'll set these aside. We'll pull out our decks here and talk about the integrity of each of these card decks. And just as a quick sneak peek, that same theme, the moons and the paper and the rose petal lamination, all continued on the base of the box. So we will get into these cards for you guys now. And as you can see, the backs of the cards match the boxes that they go into. each deck is gilded in the silver holographic foil. So that's really nice. I think it looks really nice on the white deck. It would have been neat to see a black holographic gilding on the black deck, but I think they are both stunning. On the backs of the cards, we do not have a true reversible deck. If you look closely, you can see that one of the moons is larger or smaller than the other. So in a reversed sense, if you're paying attention enough, you would know like, oh yeah, that card is reversed or it isn't. So some people that may be an issue for, I don't think it's significant enough to really notice. And then we've also, on the backs of every card, we have foil stars there as well. The cards themselves are not super thick, but not super thin, not a cheap thinness or thickness. They have a nice pliability to them. Easy to have some easy play in their movability. We'll take a couple of these. And so for riffle shufflers, they have a good flexibility and would shuffle very well. I know for me, when I'm doing readings, I only do an initial riffle shuffle and then I segue into hand over hand. And with these, they have a little bit of stickiness, but it seems as though once you start to get some air in there, in between the cards, then they shuffle up and slide with one another pretty well. Oh, I don't want to get our things out of order. So they glide very nicely. They have a matte finish. So we did not carry over with the rose petal finish onto the cards, but I think that may be a good thing. I have another review of the True North Tarot, and the rose petal finish on those cards was kind of a disaster for shuffling and gliding, but these cards glide very nicely. That matte finish it lends to a nice glide for the cards, and the same goes for the white version. Everything is the same when it comes to the finish of the cards. These decks, the size looks like the standard tarot deck dimensions, so big and kind of cumbersome for small hands, but I mean, that's to be expected. It is standard, it's the traditional. And so there is widthwise and lengthwise in the hand. And so I think that pretty much touches on everything for us here. We'll get into our flip through now for you guys of our double deck flip through. And so remember this, the back matches the box. This is actually our white original deck. This is actually our black Midnight Sky edition deck. And I apologize there. I meant to turn these over for you guys because I want to start with the major arcana. All right. Now we know what we're doing. Okay. Sorry, guys. So we're going to start out with the major arcana and obviously the Fool card. First, okay, there are some differences here. So on the original white deck black box version, the names of the cards, it seems, are stamped. So they've got an indentation, kind of the opposite of that embossed on the outside. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see it. I have to hold it at a pretty significant angle, but they have texture because they're stamped into every card. The white cards do not include silver foil accents on the card face themselves, while they do on the back, but the Midnight Sky edition has silver foiling on every card. The name of the card itself, though, is not stamped, it's printed. So those are some minor differences there. And we'll try to take a look at the artistry and see if there are any differences in that as well. But starting out here, we've got our Fool card. The Magician, very nice with those silver accents. It looks like we've got the same imagery there. Priestess, that all looks the same. Lovely Empress card. On this one, she's got some foil rings on her finger, but not on the original. The Emperor looks to mostly be the same there, I think. The Hierophant, same crowns, keys, although the keys here look to be a little bit smaller. Our Lover's card, 2 fused hearts, that's really cool. Chariot. I think those cards look to be the same. And so we have Justice holding the place of the 8 in this deck, so more the Thoth style. I like this Hermit card, lovely. So with this, there is what seems to be a slight difference maybe on the bordering. So the stars do not go up as high on the Midnight Sky edition as they do on the original white deck. Oh, nice Wheel of Fortune with an Ouroboros there. Beautiful wings. And for the Strength card, it looks like the Lemniscate infinity symbol might be a little bit smaller on the black deck edition. I like the Hanged Man card, very nice. Beautiful death card in the deck. Temperance. Everything looks to be the same in that card as well. And the same is true. Oh no, I do notice a bit of a difference there for the Devil card. So our stars go up and extend out much more than the original. An awesome Tower card there. And it looks like the silver foil lightning coming down extends in different areas than where the original lightning in the original deck card did. Star. And the card for the deck itself, the Moon. I love how those crystals are completely covered in the foil. Those are beautiful. And so big difference. I mean, all of the silver foil stars in the sky beyond the moon, that was not included at all in the original. That's really pretty. And the Sun card here looks to be about the same. Maybe some more stars inside the sun, or dots, the silver foil. Judgment. You can see the same thing here with the bordering. It looks like more of a border was put around the black version because the stars, the dots extend higher on the original. And rounding out the majors with the World card here. Looks pretty similar. And we've got some bonus cards. It looks like the New Moon. Very cool. The Full Moon. I like that. Nice creative take here to stick with that wandering moon theme of the deck. Oh, and the Wanderer. Looks like they're sitting on the moon. Very cute. I love that. Okay, and now we're getting into our minors. So our first suit of moons. I'm not sure if this is to depict maybe pentacles or cups. And we have the Two of Moons. So maybe this is more cups because I see 2 hands in there. So here's a difference. We see, yeah, this has to be, I see 2 what look to be Gemini symbols on the hands, and there's an extra bracelet. But those astrological symbols are not depicted in the original. And 3 of Moons, looks to be about the same here in both cards. And the 4. I think this would definitely be more reminiscent of cups than pentacles, kind of holding on to that one cup, or that one cup that's being offered while the focus is on the other 3 that are empty. Our 5 of moons here. 6. Everything looks to be the same in there. Maybe some extra rings on the fingers with the foil. 7. We have, looks like a Roman numeral of 7 depicted on the hand here and not the original. The 8 of moons. The 9, some shooting stars. And rounding out the 10 with a mountainscape there. And going into our court cards for the suit of moons, we've got a page. And it looks like our knight is depicted by a feather. And our queen of moons has a crown and what looks to be the symbol for water, perhaps. And then finally getting to our king for the suit of moons, nice regal crown there. All right, we will be getting into the sword suit next. Everything looks to be the same with the 2 of swords. Awesome 3 of swords card. Very nice drawing of the heart. Oh, I love this 4 of swords card. Awesome. Five of swords. Good depiction. And we've got 6 of swords. This is a great depiction too. I don't see anything out of showing any difference there, aside from maybe some of the holographic foil stars. And the 7. A nice 8 of swords card, very unique. Wow, I think I might actually, for once, like the suit of swords from this deck. The art is simple, minimalistic, but definitely comes across well. And finally, the 10 of swords, another cool one. There's a little person silhouette up there, it looks like. And taking a look at the court cards of the swords now, we've got the page again. So it looks like the pages are depicted with this foliage, strings of leaves. The knights have that feather. And our queens, we have a crown here for the queen on the arm, but it doesn't look like it was included for the original deck. And finally, our king with his crown. Okay. Now getting into the suit of stars. So maybe this is pentacles. We've got the 2 of stars. Maybe that could be pentacles in balance. And 3 of stars. I see 3 hands here, so maybe some collaboration for pentacles. And our 4, it looks like we have the same imagery in these cards. And then the 5, we've got a Roman numeral 5 on the hand in the Midnight Sky edition, but not the original. Just some little nuances, little differences. Our 6 of stars here. So yeah, I could definitely see this being pentacles, like the offering, the sharing, the generosity. And yeah, it's that too with the 7 of stars and the tree and the stars hanging on the tree. And the 8 of stars. We have a infinity lemniscate on the hand here in the new version, not on the original. And the 9. This is a beautiful 10 of stars. I love that. And now our court cards for the suit of stars. So pentacles here, but the page is depicted with a ring of foliage, leaves. And our knight, along with that feather, the knight of stars or pentacles. And the queen with her crown. It is included on this card, but it looks like we have 2 bracelets for that holographic foil, but not on the original. And wrapping up suit of stars with our king and the crown. And bringing the deck to a close with our final suit of wands depicted by these awesome crystals. Very hardy looking. I love them. These nice crystal points. 2 of wands. So the 2 here on the, we have a 2 or maybe a Gemini symbol, and then I guess that's a Roman numeral 2, and then a 5 in the other hand for the 2 of wands. That is not depicted in the original. Three of wands. Nice 4 of wands. Got the 5. On the new version, we have kind of like a tally of 5 on one of the hands. That's not included in the original. 6 of wands, a nice feeling of victory here. It looks like our stars actually extend out more on the 2nd edition versus the 1st. Simplistic 7 of wands card. Very interesting 8 of wands card to depict that motion. So that's cool. Different take there. A simplistic 9 of wands card. And wrapping up pips with our 10. There's an extra bracelet on the upper hand on the 10 card. And finishing out with our court cards of the wands suit, we've got our page depicted with that foliage again, wrapping around the crystal, very nice. And our knight with the feather. And the queen, we've got the crown on the new card, but not depicted on the old. And finally the king with the regal crown. And it looks like in the original version, white edition, black box, we've got an extra card, kind of like a little signed autograph art card from the creator. So that's special and sweet. And there you have it. That is our double deck review and flip through of this Wandering Moon tarot deck for you guys. As I mentioned, I will list the link to the seller's Etsy shop in the description below for you guys if you want to snag one of these decks, or maybe both before the artist stops printing these and selling them. And as far as I know, her shop is the only place that you can get these. Please know I am not affiliated with the artist, the creator of the deck, or any marketing, so I don't get any kickbacks. I just want to be able to share this with you guys before it's no longer made, if you really connect with this deck, because it took me a long time to find my soulmate deck, which is not these, but it took me a really long time to find that deck. And I just want to help somebody who maybe still be on the search for their soulmate deck. So if it happens to be one of these, I will post that link for you guys. But with that, if you guys enjoyed the review or liked anything that you saw, please give a thumbs up or consider subscribing. Maybe that will help this reach somebody else who may be looking for their perfect tarot deck, or who's searching for something similar. And as I say, I will continue posting reviews of decks as they come into me. I have two Kickstarter decks that will be coming early of next year. I believe the Bone Dead Tarot deck, really cute. And another one that I am backing right now is the Grounded Wisdom deck, which is based on soil and ecology. So that one I am super, super excited for, as I have a learning background in horticulture. So if any of that interests you, pop on over there to that Kickstarter is still active right now, and it is a really beautiful, incredible, creative deck. Very special. So with that, I hope you guys enjoyed everything. I hope that your day is filled with so much peace and love and kindness and gratitude. And I thank you guys for stopping by, and I look forward to seeing you back here in the future. Bye-bye.